A relationship between a military working dog and their handler is something unlike anything else that you'll see in the Air Force. They build an unbreakable bond between the two, and they are basically one. So that is something that, especially after a handler is on a dog for a long time, they grow that bond, and it's really hard when it comes time for them to separate. The military working dog section is a section comprised of military working dogs stationed here on the Yokota Air Base, and it's comprised of explosive detection and narcotic detection dogs. And we utilize those dogs for detection purposes and patrol purposes across base. Military working dogs are important to the integrated defense for the Air Force. So military working dogs bring an asset to the Air Force that is unmatched. So they can try to meet the explosive detection of a military working dog with electronics. They've tried it for 10 or 20 years, and it's something that's not possible. There's literally no other better detection asset than a military working dog. I became a handler in the Air Force because I came back from my first deployment from Afghanistan, and I seen the amount of work that the military working dogs did and the stuff that they did outside the wire, so that's something that I was really interested in doing. I have a lot of pride in being a handler, so having the ability to train my dog different things and show off my dog to the general public, and then just having that inseparable bond with a dog, and you actually get to take a dog to work with you and create, a fun environment for the dog, and you get to care for them. My favorite part of the day being a military working dog handler is actually pulling the dog out and playing with them in the yard and just spending that one-on-one time with the dog. For me personally, being a military working dog handler, it just shows that we lead the way. So we always say that K9 leads the way, and the reason for that is when we go into combat zones, military working dogs and their handlers are actually on the front lines and ahead of the troop movements. So being a military working dog handler, to me personally, means that I'm charged with more responsibilities than a regular patrolman. I'm charged with keeping the base secure and then being a part of that integrated defense. They're a really, really big asset across the base. They're actually making sure that explosives and narcotics don't make it onto the base, and we actually have the ability to stop intruders, and it's something that's unmatched across the Air Force. So it's a really good anti-terrorism measure that we have and a good psychological deterrent across the base. You actually get to play with the dogs on a daily basis and get paid for it. So it's definitely something that you can't really do anywhere else in the Air Force, and to me personally, I think that's amazing.